what's up YouTube? This is Cookie Monster ProForgeRacing bringing you my 98th ForgER review, xwi1dpumazx. xwi1dpumazx is a great forger who makes racetracks and infection maps. This first map here is called Oil Refinery, and this is an infection map. It's one of those infection maps. As you can see, it's really big. It's one of the infection maps that has multiple stages to it, or levels, rooms. You start off in one area and you have a certain amount of time to wait, and then you know, something makes it so that you can get to another area, and then you have to wait, and then you're able to get to a third area, and usually there's only like 3, 4, or 5 at the very most. Right here I end up getting a triple kill, and since there's only like 4 or 5 of us in the game, I think one person ended up dying, and I ended up killing the other 3, so took out all of them quickly. These rooms are barricaded off with a shield door. However, a second shield door spawns next to it, and somehow it pulls you through the 2 shield doors, which is really cool. So that's how it works out. So you have to wait for the second shield door to spawn, and yeah, it's really fun though, because I like these kind of maps. I do prefer, I think, overall regular just infection where you each find your own little spot to hide or whatever, but I do like these types because you kind of have to work as a team, you know, to try and, you know, because you have a certain time limit and you have to wait, and then you have to get to the final area, you know, and you have to work as a team to be able to survive and get from one area to the next. And usually once you get to the final area, if you get that far in most of these types of maps, you know, then it starts getting really intense because you have nowhere else to go. But it's, you know, it's a fun map. As you see, we're bouncing off the shield, you know, trying to see if the other one has spawned, and as soon as it did spawn, I went through, but it killed me for some reason, made me commit suicide. But this next map here is called Trains Tutorial. He made this with xwi1dpumazx, and this is a very cool Forge art map. They did not make it compatible for any game type, I think because they didn't want people to think it was like a bad infection map or a bad slayer map, because it didn't work very well, because it's not designed for those game types anyways. It's designed for just to be a Forge art map. But as you can see, there's tunnels going into you know, what would be like caves and mountains. There's railroad tracks, there's multiple amazing looking trains, there's a few different train station buildings. It's just a very, very cool map. I don't know if I've been able to review any Forge art ever in any of my reviews before, besides Billy the Pro, of course. So I really liked the fact that that map was in there. This next one was also made with xwi1dpumazx. This one's called Petroleum Refinery, and it's similar, you know, in the name as the other one, but this is just an open, it's actually a fairly open infection map with not a lot of places to hide. You do have to work as a team though, but this one is not like a multiple room map, but since it's very open, there's not a whole lot of places to hide, as I said. By the way, both Oil Refinery and this map, Petroleum Refinery, are made for a game type that's in his file share, a custom one called Big Zombie, and it's important that you use that game type because I ended up playing this at one point without the game type, and you could get in that tank there, the Scorpion, and it was completely overpowering. Like, I was just killing all the zombies because I was able to get in that, so it's pretty important that you play with Big Zombie. The zombies are pretty beast in the Big Zombie, so it's kind of hard. You definitely have to work as a team, even on this one, even though it's not a multiple section map. This next map here is called Wild Ones because his gamer tag is xwi1dpumazx, and this is a roller coaster. There's only 2 roller coasters in his file share, I believe, both of which are in the review. I'm not sure if this is his first roller coaster ever, but I'm pretty sure it's the first one in his file share anyways. It's a fun map. It's pretty short, and I'm not gonna lie and say it's the best roller coaster ever. It's not, you know, the most smooth and big perfect roller coaster. However, it's still a very fun roller coaster, and it's still good. There is one issue on the map, however, because there are a few jumps, and one of them messes up, and that's the jump coming up here. There's a man cannon that pushes you and gives you a lot of speed, but since it's kind of at an angle, the right side is above the left, so when you jump on the right upper side, it works beautifully. But if you jump on the left lower side, you often fail the jump because you don't have enough height to make the landing. So obviously I'm not going to say he should go back and fix that now. That'd be, you know, kind of pointless because, you know, Halo 4 is about to come out. But yeah, it was just a little problem with the map, and I mean, the ending isn't perfect either, but I mean, it works out pretty well, so that's really all you can ask for it. And it reconnects, you know, perfectly. It's not the longest map, but it's still fun. This next one here is called Mexico SX. It's a really good Supercross track. It has the word Mexico written on the floor at the end. It's got shield doors over it, making it like highlighted. I think I just turned before I get to it in the overview, unfortunately. He made a Supercross track called, I believe, Wild Monkey SX. He made it with D Legend Monkey a while ago. But I believe that was his first one, and this is only his second Supercross track ever. So it's really not bad at all for a second map. It's kind of fun. And for those of you who are obsessed with realistic Supercross tracks that, you know, are perfectly realistic and use no shield doors or man cannons, this isn't the map for you, because there were a few shield doors on it, and it's not perfectly bordered, but it's still fun, and it's Halo. You know, everything can't be perfectly realistic. Right here, I don't get quite enough speed, and I end up failing that part, and I get stuck, like the most unlikely odds ever. And Nuked Ice Cream comes over and gives me a slight little nudge, and a few seconds later, I end up bouncing out, and I do like a perfect like barrel roll, and right there's the jump over Mexico, but I do like a perfect barrel roll and land it anyways. There's a shield door there to make it so you just like, you know, kind of like roll over and go slowly down, but I ended up jumping out of there with a barrel roll and landed perfectly, so I had to keep that lap in there and use that one for the video, because that was just really cool. This next map here is called Ending MX, and I believe this was his last map, but his maps were kind of like not ordered chronologically in his file share, so I didn't realize that this was not his last map, so I added one map after it, so I apologize for that, but it's called Ending SX, so that would make sense. This is a really fun map. It's got a lot of jumps on it, and most of them work out really well. It's a fun map. There's not a lot of motocross maps in Halo Reach at all, so it's kind of nice to, you know, finally see some. And it's a fun map. It's unique and different a little bit than the others. However, he doesn't have safeties on his jumps. On Supercross and Nationals tracks, I guess motocross is the whole category. A motocross track, you want to have safeties on your jumps, so like if you fail them, there's like, you know, a ramp like on the back side of the jump, and he doesn't have those on here, and sometimes people don't add them, but at least if you fail, you end up dying. But on these, since the track is, you know, completely flat on the ground and it like crosses over other parts, when you fail, you kind of fall down to a lower part of the track, so you kind of have to find out how the hell to get back on the track. But I love that crossover section right there, by the way, on terrain. It's really nice. But overall, I mean, it's a great map. It's just he's got to, obviously I don't expect him to go back and fix it like I said, but he should have added some safeties on those jumps, because if you fail them, you're on like a different part of the track, which is too bad, because that happened to me my first time playing the map. This last map here is called Trickinator. I believe he made it before Ending MX, like I said. He got help on a 720 stunt on this map by Bowser, and who I already reviewed. But this is a fun map. The 720 stunt works most of the time for me, but sometimes I'll fail the landing. I've been wondering lately, you know, I've seen tons of these 720 things, and I was like, who created these? But I guess recently I realized that KSI Milkman created them on his map Demonic Insanity with DJV Razor. Right there is another 720 jump, except since you're not in midair, you're on flat ground, it doesn't spin you as much, so you do like a perfect 180. It's designed the exact same way as the 720, but if you were in midair, it would spin you like 3 times, because you'd have more time to spin, and your wheels wouldn't be as locked up. But when you're on the flat ground, you don't have as much time to spin, and your wheels, you know, catch yourself on the ground. So it's cool how it works out perfectly for a 180 flat on the ground. I think he's the first to use that stunt. But this jump right here, I could never get to work on all 3 laps of the race. I ended up failing it, unfortunately. But I mean, overall, it's a fun map. It's a cool, you know, little trick coaster, or stunt coaster, whatever you want to call it. But please go to xwi1dpumazx's file share and download all his maps. They're a lot of fun. This is just a few of them. Both Infection and Race are a lot of fun, so please definitely be sure to download all these maps. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. The last 2 reviews will be coming soon. Cookie out!